When people ask me, like, you know, what is Funko Fusion, it's a really hard thing to distill down. I could obviously reel off the 30-page like PowerPoint presentation that we did back in the start of the day, but then there becomes the elevator pitch of like, you know, what is it? And then you reference other games. So you'll be, oh, it's like fast-paced run and gun action platforming of like Ratchet and Clank mixed with IP mashup of something like Disney Infinity or Lego Dimensions. And then you come round full scale and you go, I guess it's almost like games I used to make, but like a grown-up version. I'm Arthur Parsons. I'm the head of publishing here at 1010 Games. I've always worked on third-party properties, whether it's a Lego Harry Potter or a Lego Dimensions, or even going back even further to Toy Story 2, Bug's Life and things. The tale of how we actually got partnered up with Funko is ever so slightly bizarre. My boss, John, he wanted to do something with Funko, but he had absolutely no idea who to contact. He effectively went onto LinkedIn, searched Funko and looked for someone that had biz dev in their title, sent them an email that effectively, or a direct message that effectively said, hey, I'm John, I used to make Lego games, do you want to make games? Got a rapid response from Jason Bischoff, who we sort of like work very closely with, and the partnership was born. Right, so we're going into 1010 Games Studio, and I'll give you a quick tour. Coming in, lovely open plan office, as you can see. Over on this side here, courtesy of Chris, because he refused to sit anywhere otherwise. There's a lovely lake view for our coding team, busy working away. When we set up 1010 Games, we actually decided that we would set up in Warrington, in the northwest of England. Part of the reason for doing that is that the core senior team that we were assembling were all based in the northwest anyway already, because they were ex-colleagues from TT Games. Programmers all sit over here in this corner, and as we come through, there's probably a board of information that if anyone analysed it, it would be loads of hidden secrets, but you won't be able to analyse it, it'll be fine. Sat in the corner here, we've got Mario, who's one of our sound engineers in a lovely soundproof room. Our two other audio designers are remote, so one in Newcastle. Coming down here, we have production and QA, and our boardroom is currently taken over by our interns because we're doing some multiplayer testing, just sort of like figuring out exactly where that is ahead of October. When we looked at the game and the release date, obviously a lot of work goes into setting a release date, and a lot of planning goes into place. We're super happy with the game, we're super happy with the content, but we looked at the game and we looked at our team, and we have to stay true to one of the, I guess, the founding pillars of the studios, which is we make games the right way. And what we mean by that is we put our people ahead of every other decision. And for us, it was like, the game is great, let's release the game, the multiplayer isn't too far off, and we'll roll it out. But for us, it was important that we were transparent. We've got our character art team here, so we've got Eunice, Sean and Matt. The rest of the design team here, so they're responsible for level setup, level design, puzzle integration and all the cool stuff that you play. And then over on this side here, we have got Steiner, who's one of our VFX artists. I was really lucky that when I left TT Games, probably within about a week, my former boss, who was the original founder of Traveller's Tales TT Games, he gave me a call and asked if I wanted to do something new. And before I knew it, myself, John and Paul, no Ringo because we're not the Beatles, but myself, John and Paul decided that we were going to form 1010 Games. And we rapidly assembled what we thought were, I guess, the Avengers of video game development. We wanted to make sure we had, in our mind, the best of the best. So people that we'd worked with in the past across many games, not just the Lego series, some of the games that we made prior to that. And then we've got the environment art team, so Leon, our art director, and Guy and Gracie, who look like they're just working on some optimization stuff. The rest of the art team, and hidden away in the background, is Steve, who's our concept artist. This is where our asset art team sits. And then we've got the tech designers. Hi, Scott. So the tech designers basically stitch the gameplay together, so they'll animate the assets, pretty much fix all the problems that the designers create, as in, I can say that because I'm a designer, so it's all right. For me, there's a lot of exciting things in the game that I'm super proud of and super excited by. Some of them are things were on paper before we had a team. And one of those very, very early calls, we were sat and I was talking to Jason at Funko and I was like, we have to get He-Man in the game. No matter what happens, I've been trying to do that for nearly 30 years. And 8-year-old me from 1983 will never forgive myself if I don't take this opportunity. But the other thing I'm super excited by is the second thing that I mentioned to Jason, which was I wanted to get Colonel Sanders into the game because it's one of my favourite Funko Pops I've got. And we did it. However, to actually unlock him, people are going to have to hunt those chicken buckets high and low. And then if you come through this section here, behind the glass, we've got Anna and Jess, our wonderful HR team, who make sure that we all know what we're doing and we're all looked after. That's right, isn't it? That's right, yeah. We've got Dan here, who is product marketing, social media, asset creation. Other Dan, because we've got a few Dans, is our release manager, who's going to make sure that that the game goes live. Yep, hopefully. Mike's sat beavering away in the corner there. Mike's accounts. But you're exciting accounts, right? And he's got a friend in for a meeting. If I go through here, we've got Paul. Paul's busy directing the studio. And then my office here, which is full of Funko Pops. And it's not that other people don't have Funko Pops, it's just I brought in all my He-Man ones because I like He-Man, just in case anyone was any doubt. When we were looking originally back, and it is going a while back now, at who we thought would be our target audience, right, well clearly it's going to be people that like Funko Pops. And believe it or not, generally, the people that buy most Pops are between the age of 25 and 45. And then we looked at sort of the games that we'd been known for making, and you think, those people that have grown up playing anything we've been associated with, they're all going to be in their late 20s now. That's got to be our audience. We knew we had to create almost like a unique tone or brand or flavour for Funko as an expression of what Funko Pops are in a video game. So we thought, let's go for it. Let's make sure it is a bit more mature, still comic mischief, still fun, still, in our mind, safe and friendly. But yeah, Chucky does try and murder you, and there are zombies that like explode into bits and pieces. They're all like little Operation Vinyl pieces, but it had to have that flavour and vibe, and the tonality had to be at that level. So when we looked through the IP that we were going to put in the game, we were literally looking through this enormous spreadsheet of NBC Universal properties. And as we're looking through, you notice that Shaun of the Dead's on there. And then all of a sudden you're going off to Google and you're looking at like what Universal have and what triggers you. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are movies that are so iconic, and they're not just loved in the UK, they're loved globally. They've never made that transition to video games. And I don't understand why, because they are so great. When we make anything in the game, so this goes from when we come up initially with weapon designs or character designs, level designs, and then also cinematic layouts. We like to involve our partners every step of the process, because if we can kind of make them feel that they can trust us in terms of, we know what we're doing, we are incredibly sort of true to the authenticity of the brands and are thinking as fans, it actually makes the whole process of IP approvals creative, and that's the best way to do it. One of our programmers who is here to look after me and keep an eye on me, and I don't actually know why Brees is there, but that's Brees. So that's 1010 Games. That's us. That's our studio here in Warrington.